Yeah, so you know, the new service chiefs now know that they have they're going to be having a lot you know, in their hands to handle. This technology you are talking about now is something that I know that probably they are going to be thinking about how to step it forward so that the desired you know effects will start being noticed. Now let's come to them one more time. Now we have a new national security advisor. In the person of Nasiru, is the president of Ribadu now,
yes.
you know. Now, reactions have started trailing. His seeming inability, you know, to flow along with other service chiefs. Nuhu Ribadu, a retired police officer, know that he has some experience, but somehow, I don't know where these reactions are coming from. Now, his own position is very, very sensitive. A national security advisor that is supposed to be advising his colleagues on issues of security, taking advice to the president, also advising his colleagues and all that. Now, if we are having these concerns already that this guy cannot, I mean, maybe a policeman advising military men this time, a retired policeman advising military men this time. Know that they are security, they are all security agencies and all that. So let's look at this now. Alamin.
Thank you very much. You see, what really matters is not what the impression of people, whether Nigerians or the military or even the police or even the presidency. What matters is we have a constitution, we have a law, the ground law that governs Nigeria. We start, as the constitution be violated by with the appointment of Ribadu as national security advisor, that's the question. If it has been done, then if it was violated, then you can be talking of people's reaction and then some people will want to flow along. As far as I am concerned, appointment of Ribadu as the president has been guided, is in order, and all this while we have been having others who are not policemen as national security advisors. And when you now observe, we are talking of rising banditry in the north, and which are saying it should be rising terrorism activities or terrorist activities in the north.
In the north,
it has been rising.
Yeah.
So if you claim you have been doing it and you like to continue to do it, and we are not observing any change, then there should be. Then we should think and possibly change your strategy. We can't keep doing the same thing every now and then and you expect a different result. We are not trying to indict those who have been there before, but as I said, once the law of the land has not been violated, there is nothing bad in it. We should stop discriminating. Sometimes it is on regional basis, tribal basis, religious basis. Now it's talking of, okay, this one is not an army officer, it's a policeman. And it does not really matter. You have been called to serve the country and use the experience to serve the country. Well, while he was with the EFCC, he performed wonderfully well. If you have been able to prove yourself to be a man of integrity who will not value money above the national service, you can be called upon to take up a bigger responsibility. If you are really qualified or if you are competent and then one is not really able to have much confidence in you, then one can decide to give the assignment to whoever we feel can perform. And Nigerian nation is a nation that we need to all work together and collaborate. You see, we should not allow the terrorists to be happy that in fact the security agencies are not working together or they are not happy working together. And so whoever is there to serve, let the person go ahead and serve. When you are saying, okay, my person should be there, my religion should be there, are you saying the person is there to pack some money for you? Is he not going to render service for the country? So why should it be your person? Why should it be from your religion, from your tribe? Provided he does well. For example, if we raise our national team and Uduka Igbede was able to score and the under 17 came with a cup in China, what's my business? Will you say, okay, it must be from your religion, from your tribe? The important thing is that they lifted the trophy for the country. So we should see ourselves as Nigerians. Econom of where you come from, your religion, as time goes on, should not matter to us. If that will make us to start discriminating.
Okay. All right. So, Barry Sambanefo, even in the far southeast, you know, except for some maybe weeks now, we've not heard of any attack in the southeast. Prior to this time, we heard of series of attacks, how IPOP were alleged to have been, you know, have hands in those attacks and all that. Now, let's look at what has been going on in the southeast now. We have new service chiefs on board. Now, new presidency on board, no doubt about that. What are your concerns? New presidency, APC presidents, you know, vis-a-vis the agitations in the southeast as it relates to the insecurity of the southeast.
Yeah, I will answer that question. Before I answer that question, I want to take a bite for a minute from the question you asked my learned friend, which you have just digested. Yes.
Nuhu Ribadu.
Yes. Okay. I would like to take your memory back to a man called Tais Larin.
Okay, yeah.
Tais Larin, under the military junta, he was a man known to be very disciplined. He was a critic against the military regime. He was a man who believed that humanity should come first. But the military decided to test his faith in all that he believed. Yeah, Tais Larin never wore a trouser in his lifetime. But the then President, General Babangida, Madamas Babangida, said, okay, if the military is not doing good, let's tell this man who said he's a moralist, let us appoint him the chairman of People's Bank. And Tais Larin was appointed chairman of People's Bank. And he did accept that offer at chairman of People's Bank. And along the line, there was this incident where he was attending a particular function and he was told that it would be very disrespectful for him to wear nika to that ceremony. That it is important to wear trousers.
Yeah.
And your gaze as good as mine. So, in Africa, and in Nigeria in particular, sometimes when people feel that they are very disciplined, the politicians has a way of testing their discipline. And so the issues before Nuhu Ribadu is not only about whether it's a police officer being appointed a national security advisor or whether it's a military man and all that. You know, most of us who respect him so much, of course, expected him to say no to that office. Yes, thank you very much for your offer, but I'm not going to do it.
Why?
He was former chairman of EFCC. And he must have stepped on toes as chairman of EFCC. And he's been appointed by some politicians that he may have asked one or two questions while as chairman of EFCC to now become chairman of National Security Advisor. You have to weigh the implications. You understand? And again, you know, when you're talking about National Security Advisor, it's a very sensitive office. Very, very sensitive office. Yeah. And all we've been saying in this country is that competence must be looked at first before any other thing when they appoint people as National Security Advisor. Of course, the bias will be there. If I'm a general who have attended several courses as a general, and then you are bringing somebody from a discipline that has to deal with civilians to probably advise me. Of course, I will not be very comfortable with that.
So,
however,
is that going to be the case with Nuhu Ribadu now?
No, this is national issue. The National Security Advisor should be somebody that whose opinions must be very, very superior, and whose opinions must carry weight, and whose opinions must depict facts and figures. And it's not a matter that you have to manage, because it has to do with the security of the nation. And so in trying to make that appointment, you have to look at the resume of that person as to whether the person has what it takes to have given that particular advice. Let me give you one example. With all due respect to President Buhari, and with all due respect to the last National Assembly, when Buhari appointed ministers, You understand? That was when Nigerians saw the lexicon. Take a bow and go. And when we're asking, a man who wants to be screened by the Senate to know if he is a minister of petroleum or minister of finance, whether he will be able to handle that office. The Senate, which ought to have screened the man to let the man have that competence,
Ask him to take a bow.
is asking the same man to take a bow and go. On whose interest? Is it on national interest?
Or on personal.
Or personal interest? Or on political party interest? And that take a bow and go, you saw what was the outcome after 8 years. Nigeria became worse than where they were 8 years ago.